So I had a thought that I'd like to discuss, and maybe you'll find it interesting, maybe you won't. I guess only time will tell. But just this morning, I was catching up on the latest Swola with our friend Ola the Swede, and I'm a massive Sepultura fan, and he got to this section in the news where he says,
Sepultura announces their final show. Metal Allegiance, Sacred Reich, and Christian are booked as support. So
anyways, he's just talking about Sepultura doing their final show in November, later this year. And we all know they've been on their kind of like farewell tour and everything. But anyways, it's just something occurred to me. I'm like, what happened to Eloy? Eloy Casagrande, Slipknot. What are they doing? What's Eloy doing? And it just really got me thinking, like, first, maybe Slipknot's making a record right now. I'll admit I don't keep up on the metal news too much, so maybe there's been a lot of news about it, but not that I'm aware of, I guess, like that they're heavily, working on a new record or anything like that. We hear all this stuff about maybe they are, or some old record that's been shelved for a decade or more, or 2 decades or something like that they're gonna finally release. But I don't know, just personally, I haven't gotten the feeling that Slipknot is hard at work on a new record right now, making something, which would mean Eloy's busy, and that's why they're not out there playing shows. And if we take a look here, it appears that Slipknot's last show was almost a year ago, July 19th, at the Incarceration Fest 2025. And of course, Sepultura's out there playing pretty much every night, and they've been going strong for a while on this last tour here. They still have a handful of dates in front of them before November. But what I was thinking about is like, man, it's like Eloy strikes me as a hardworking guy who wants to be playing all the time. Just in case anybody doesn't know, Eloy Casagrande was Sepultura's drummer for many, many years, but then in 2024, he left to join Slipknot. I don't know if anybody faulted him for that. It just seems like a great opportunity. Yeah, it sucks to leave your guys that you've been touring with for a decade with Sepultura. I think it was around a decade that he was in the band. Just to jump ship like that kind of unexpectedly, but you never know what's going on in the internal workings of a camp and stuff like that. And what an opportunity to fill the shoes of Joey Jordison, go over there to Slipknot. So I didn't fault him for that. And Sepultura then got a great replacement with Greyson Nekrutman. But he's a super cool guy. Had a chance to meet and hang with him for a little while last time Sepultura came through Cleveland, and he was awesome. Great drummer. They're both great drummers. I've been a big Eloy fan ever since I first noticed him. Such a hard hitter. There's no denying it. He's a total badass. And of course, getting those gigs, Sepultura and now Slipknot and stuff. So both great drummers. Cool. Just the way it went down and everything. Sepultura's been going strong with Greyson, and it's just all worked out. But it just got me thinking, is Eloy pissed? Does he have regrets that he's not out there playing all the time? Perhaps he's on retainer. He probably is on some sort of payroll retainer, where he's just getting a salary. But is he just sitting around? His YouTube channel hasn't been very active. I mean, he's got like a drum solo thing here from 3 weeks ago. That's the latest thing. But before that, 4 months, or this is for you. I'm sorry, hold on. If I go to videos. Okay, 3 weeks ago, he did this, but then 4 months, 6 months, 6 months, 7 months ago. So he hasn't really been active with his YouTube channel. We don't really hear a lot from Eloy anyways. He doesn't seem like a very talkative guy or just, expressing his feelings online or anything like that. He's just all business. And again, just an absolutely incredible drummer. So no harm, no foul there. But it just got me thinking, is he upset about that? And then I'm like, how many shows has he actually played with Slipknot? How active are those guys in comparison to Greyson playing with Sepultura? So I checked it out here, setlist.fm. From what I read, Eloy joined officially, or their first show with Slipknot was April of 2024. So if we go to that, they played 46 shows in 2024 with him, and then 23 shows in 2025 with him. So that's 69 shows that Eloy has played in total. Let's just roughly, who knows, maybe this is wrong, I don't know, but let's just call it right around there. About 70 shows with Slipknot since 2024. And then you go to Sepultura, and Greyson's first show was somewhere in March of 2024. So 97 plus 42 plus 40 is 179, but to be exact, whether this is exact or not, I don't know. There was 2 shows in March before his official first show. So the total that he's played is 177 versus Eloy's 69. And so that's more than double the amount of shows that Greyson has played. And that is my main query here. It's like, is Eloy sitting here thinking, yeah, I joined this big ass band, but we're not doing anything? Yeah, I'm sure it's cool to sit back and just be paid a retainer, like I said, salary, you know, not doing anything. But like, if that's the case, but does he like that? Again, I said, I just think he seems like such a hardworking guy that I'm sure he wants to be playing constantly. I'm sure he just wants to be doing nothing but playing out and stuff. And lo and behold, the band he left is out there playing nonstop. Great shows here in Cleveland. It was at the Agora Theater. Big, nice theater, jam-packed, everybody singing along. So great shows. Not the Slipknot level where they're playing arenas and stuff, but like, it's kind of give and take. Do you do less than half the shows at bigger places, or do you want to be working all the time and stuff? So that's just what I've wondered about. And I can't ask him. I've never met Eloy, so I don't really know. I'm just curious about this situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, if you know anything, and don't hate on my ignorance to what Slipknot's been up to or anything like that. Like I said, I don't really keep up on all that, but just from the little bit that I do, I go to Blabbermouth or, you know, whatever, Loudwire, PRP and stuff like that once a week or something like that, just to see what's going on or whatever. I don't know, I just don't really see much. And this really had me thinking. So then on top of that, where's that Sepultura's tour? So what do they have ahead of them here? They're playing their next show's June 6th. South of Heaven. I don't know if that's a festival or what, in the Netherlands, but I counted this briefly. I think it was like 26. So they still have at least 26 shows ahead of them before their final show in Brazil on November 7th. So that puts them over 200 shows, assuming Slipknot doesn't play any more shows until November. They certainly may, who knows? But let's just say they're not going to. That means that Greyson will have played over 200 shows since joining Sepultura, and Eloy's still sitting at 69, kind of in limbo, not knowing what's going on, at least from my perspective. And so it just comes to that, where I'm like, man, I wonder what he thinks about his decision with that. Maybe he's living the lap of luxury and everything's cool. Maybe he's doing tons of stuff nobody knows about behind the scenes, you know, that just doesn't make it online, or who knows. I have absolutely no idea, but it was just something I was wondering about. But anybody can go and check this out, setlist.fm, and look for yourself, and you'll see. So again, both incredible drummers, both have my respect. Let me know what you guys think. And as I said, I'm a huge Sepultura fan. I guess I consider myself a big Slipknot fan, but I'm a huge Sepultura fan. And the main reason for that is I'm really only a massive fan of Slipknot's first record. Of course, the other stuff's cool. Iowa, Subliminal Verses, all that kind of stuff is cool. But the first record is I'm in love with. You know every song, know every lyric, know every part. It's one of those albums for me, you know. But with Sepultura, fuck, I love Schizophrenia, love Beneath the Remains, Arise, Chaos, Roots. So where Slipknot only has one album that I totally love, Sepultura has, I would say, Beneath the Remains, Rise, and Chaos AD are three of my favorite records of all time, all bands. You know, so I've always just kept an eye on them and really, really love them. So I'm happy that they're doing well. It's a shame things are coming to an end, but like Slayer, you know, who knows? They're probably going to keep playing stuff like that. But I'm happy for Greyson, wondering what he's going to do after this, because all that comes into this as well. What's Greyson going to do after the tour? Then now he's going to be stuck. And we may say, well, Eloy made the right choice because now Greyson's without a job, but Eloy's still got Slipknot. Who knows how all that's going to work out? I certainly don't, but just lots to ponder, lots to query there. An interesting topic of debate. Appreciate everybody watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and hope to see you on the next video.